Hello, Jackson Middle School families. My name is Annette Esteville Perez, and I'm the school's literacy coach. And I'm going to walk you through how to log into Canvas today. So the first step that you need to do is to log into your laptop. You're going to need your OCPS student number, that's your 480 number, and your password. Once you log into your computer, you're going to go to Google Chrome and you're going to type this website, launch.ocps.net. Once there, it's going to ask you for your username and password again. This is the same information that you type to log into the computer. Your username is your student number, your 480 number, and your password is the same as the one you use to log into the computer. Once you're in Launchpad, you have an entire dashboard full of different icons, little tiles. If you've used iReady before, you're probably familiar with this. iReady is one of the icons. BrainPop is there as well. Google Drive. There's lots of different icons. But the ones that you're looking for today are Canvas. Your Canvas icon is red with a gray background. It's going to be on your desktop. This is where all of your classes are located. So every day when you log into Launchpad, you're going to click on Canvas to access your classes. Now, another icon that will be important later on when you need to check your grades or your schedule is going to be Skyward. Skyward looks like this. It's this blue kind of rainbow looking icon. All right. And if you need to check your schedule or again your grades, like for your report card or your progress report, that's where you will go. But today we're going to talk about Canvas because that's what you're going to do every day. Once you're in Canvas, you're also going to see a Canvas dashboard. On your dashboard, you're going to have a square or a tile for every class that you're registered in. Now, obviously, this is my dashboard. So I have a few things that are not classes, but one of the things I have highlighted here in a big red circle is a language arts class. Okay, you're going to have a similar square for all of your classes. You'll have a square or a tile for science, for social studies, PE, math, everything. Each and every one of your classes will have its own tile. If you belong to a club, if you're in student government, your club or organization might also even have its own tile. So all sorts of things will be on your dashboard. But every day when you log in, you will click on the class that you need. So for example, if it's time for period 1, you're going to click on your period 1 class. If it's time for period 3, you're going to click on your period 3 class, etc. Okay? Once you've clicked on the class that you need, okay, this is what the class page will look like. Now, obviously, it's going to look different for every teacher. Depends on their style and how creative they get. This particular teacher was really into Harry Potter and Star Wars. So they had a picture of Harry Potter and Star Wars on there. Okay. There's also going to be some buttons on the side. These are going to be very, very important. It's going to help you navigate in your class. Now, we're telling students and teachers that every day when you log in, you're going to click on something called Conferences. Conferences is the live web chat that's inside of Canvas. Okay. When you click on Conferences, if your teacher has already started a conference, you're going to see it appear right here where it'll say New Conferences, and the teacher might have a title for the conference. It might be the class period, it might just be the date. Okay. And it'll have a green sign, it'll say In Progress, and it'll have an orange symbol over here, a little box, a button, and you just click on it. It says Join. Once you're in, you're going to be in basically kind of like a new program inside of Canvas called Big Blue Button. Big Blue Button is going to let you video chat with your teacher. It's going to let you talk to your other students that are in your class. The teacher has access to a whiteboard. There's ability to use microphone and webcam for both the teacher and the students that are in the class. And the teacher can also share their screen as well. So if they have something on their computer they want to show you, they're going to do that as well. Is your entire class going to be live inside of Big Blue Button? Maybe not. Okay, but every class will start here in the conference section. This is where your teacher is going to probably take attendance, and they're going to tell you what you need to do that day. Okay, now obviously if a conference has been started in the class that you're in, you might see some sort of a pop-up on your Canvas dashboard. You might get an email, you might get some alerts. It just depends on the settings that you have in your Canvas account. So just be aware of that. But you can always access the conference by clicking on the conference button. Now there's some other important links here on your class page. So I'm going to point those out to you because those will be very important this school year. The first one I'm going to point out is announcements. So if your teacher wants to send out a quick announcement to the class, they can type an announcement and it'll appear sometimes on the front page if they have that set up. Or if you click on the word announcements, there'll be a whole page just full of quick announcements that they've made. Usually this is like a quick reminder, hey students, don't forget that you need to read chapter 2 for tomorrow. Sometimes it might be a reminder to do something or bring something to school. Sometimes they might put a funny quote of the day. If they have a substitute teacher, this is also a good place to kind of give some instructions on what's going to happen. So announcements is a good place to check, especially if your teacher might be absent, or if there's like an emergency or something like that, and there's no conference going on. I would check the announcements and see if your teacher has posted an announcement. But typically it's just like a way to quickly send out a message to the students. That's the announcements section. The next section that I'm going to point out to you is modules. That's very, very, very important because that's where your actual classwork is going to go. So conferences is for the live portion of the class. That's just, to talk to the teacher. But modules is where you're going to put your work. So obviously when you're online, you're not turning in pieces of paper. You're going to be completing assignments online, and those assignments are in the modules section. Now, depending on the teacher, depending on the class, your module might be organized by the week. It could be organized by a chapter in a textbook. It might be organized by the unit of study. So if you're in math class, maybe you're going to do a whole module on equations before you move on to another module on, something else that's math related. All right. So this particular module that I took a picture of, it's organized by time, by weeks. So we're looking at the week of April 13th through the 17th. And if I'm looking at the module, there's lots of different things I can click on. This particular teacher, it looks like they have something at the beginning of the module that says, what do I do this week? And they have different assignments underneath. It might be quizzes, it could be an assignment, it might be a discussion post that you have to type. Maybe you have to look at a video or a website and then comment on something. So all of that will be there. Okay, your teacher is going to explain how their modules are organized. The most important thing though is that when you click on these modules is that you read the instructions carefully, okay, and make sure that you always turn them in. Because obviously if you're not turning in an assignment inside of the module, you're not going to get a grade for it. The next important button that we're going to look at is the grades button. It's everyone's favorite. When you click on grades, it's going to take you to a screen that looks like this. Okay, you're going to have the name of the assignment here on the left, and if you click on it, it'll take you to the assignment. It'll have a due date, and it'll tell you the status of that assignment. That's whether or not you turned it in, how many points you got, if it's missing. Anything that's marked missing, that's a 0. Okay, if it's empty, it's not counting against you. Okay, so one more time, missing is a 0. If it's just empty, it's not counting against you. It's just maybe it hasn't been graded or you never turned it in. Now, if you never turned it in, don't forget that at the end of the 9 weeks, when the teacher transfers those grades to Skyward, that will turn into a 0. So if you have a lot of empty spaces in your grades, I would double check that you turned in those assignments. Now, we're going to look at this student's grades. Now, this first assignment that they have here, it says that it's missing, okay? And they have missing, which is basically a 0 out of 10. So they got 0 out of 10 points. We're going to look at another assignment. This particular assignment, they got 20 points out of 20 points. So that's a 100%. They got an A on that assignment. And this assignment that I highlighted in yellow, it looks like they either didn't turn it in because it's empty, okay, or maybe the teacher hasn't graded it, okay. But again, if you've never turned in your assignment, when the teacher does transfer grades, it will turn into a 0. So I would check your grades every once in a while, and if you notice something is empty like this, click on the name of the assignment and find out what's going on. Did you turn it in, or is it that the teacher hasn't graded it yet? Okay. All right, our final button that we're going to take a look at is the inbox button. Inbox is kind of like your email alert inside of Canvas. You can get messages and alerts for all of your classes when you click on this inbox button. I would check your messages frequently, every day, just to make sure you're not missing any important messages from any of your teachers. Parents, students, you can also email your teacher directly by going to the inbox. It works pretty much just like an email. When you're in your inbox, it's going to organize all of your messages in date order. It's going to show you who the message came from, typically your teacher. And it works just like an email. So you would just click on the message, you can read it, you can reply to it, you can even attach things to it. Like if you need to attach an assignment or a picture or something like that, you can do that straight from your inbox. All right. Now, again, parents, students, if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to call us right here at Jackson Middle School. The phone number for our front office is 407-249-6430. Have a great day, Jaguars.